following is a presentation.
And we welcome you back to the HAN Network's live coverage of the 2016 13 and under Babe Ruth State Championships here from Kubetta Stadium in Stamford, Scalzi Park. I am Frank Granito, and I'm with me for the call tonight, Mr. AJ Simonowski. AJ, we got a championship game to play.
Frank, it's like we never left.
We were here into the wee hours of the night yesterday. Let's recap what we saw. In the first game, representing the American League, it's the Waterford All-Stars, and they put a beating on Darien, winning that game 9-0.
It was an impressive showing top to bottom from Waterford. Scored, I believe, in every inning up until the 6th or 7th, and when they basically called off the Dogs in a 9-0 shellacking of the Darien squad.
As professional a win as you will see, and it came at the 13-year-old level. It was truly amazing in all facets of the game. Then we get to the nightcap. Everything was backed up an extra hour due to the storm that came through. That game started at 9:15. Right around 11:36, we saw Jaden Dawkins rounding third, heading for home, sliding in for the walk-off winner.
In what will unfortunately go down as something of a controversial play due to the injury to New Milford catcher Nick Bontempo. We hope everything is okay there as we've reviewed the play several times on our playback and our instant replay. There appears to be nothing malicious about the slide, just one of those unfortunate plays that happens. And here we see Stamford lining up for they have earned their spot.
They came back, won the game 4-3. It was a walk-off hit off the back of David Colazzo, who was far and away the best player in that game, I thought. We'll talk a little bit about that when we get to the next point, but let's meet the starting lineups right now. Let's go with the batting order for the visiting Waterford team. Leading off, it'll be the catcher, number 4, Ben Jerome. Batting second, number 35, first baseman Matt Sanford. You'll have the pitcher, Jared Burrows, number 36. Right fielder, number 44, Luke Sokolsky. Third baseman, number 10, Ryan O'Connell. Number 19, Anthony Tanucci, the second baseman in that 6th spot. Shortstop, number 33, we saw him on the bump last night. He pitched beautifully, Ryan Bakken. Left fielder, number 29, Mike Morelli. Center fielder, number 32, Robert Zawacki. We will take a quick break for the national anthem. When we come back, you've got the fielding lineup for the Stamford All-Stars here on the HAN Network.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Chop off your knives to be sharpened. Grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
And we welcome you back here to Kubetta Stadium in Stamford, Connecticut. AJ, queued up on the screen right now. We've got the walk-off single winner from last night's game. Why don't you take us through the play with David Colazzo at the dish?
With Collazo at the dish here, he does, as Eric will hit play. There we go. Collazo steps in. He will single off the very first pitch he sees from Ian Cook. A really fantastic piece of hitting. Shoots it right back up the middle. Just over Cook's head and his outstretched hand. Here we see Jaden Dawkins coming right around third, up the back of the man behind him, comes in head first. Looked like the throw was a little bit high. Nick Bontempo goes up to get it. Jaden Dawkins hits him, body's flying. Bontempo was down for quite a long time after the end of the game and after we went off the air last night. Do hope everything is okay for the young man.
We have heard from a couple league representatives there were no broken bones, and original MRIs did not show any damage to some of the ligaments, so we wish him well. We hear he might be seeing an orthopedic specialist, and we hope all the best for him. AJ, why don't you take us through this Stamford defense as the home team trots out now, getting ready to play the field in the first inning?
Sure thing, Frank. The aforementioned Jaden Dawkins gets the start in right. Mason Masterson over in center, and we got Todd Gutman joining them in left. At first, last night's starting pitcher Colin McKeever will man first for the Stamford Thunder. Tucker Healy at second. Matt Jester over at third. David Collazo at the keystone position playing short. Behind the dish, Ben Nash, and your starter tonight for the Stamford U13 All-Stars, Jay Lockwood.
And that is supposed to be the ace of this staff, so we are excited to see Lockwood dealing as he will go against Jared Burrows. A big matchup. These two teams met back in pool play back on Sunday, July, I believe it was the 11th. Don't hold me to that, though. Could have been the 10th.
No, I believe you have it right. I believe it was the 11th.
They met. It was the last game in pool play. Waterford came out on top 6-3, securing the top spot. Both these teams coming out of the American League bracket. They took care of the National League last night. We see Lockwood warming up right now. Honestly, AJ, there isn't much more to talk about. I'm just excited to get this game started. It is supposed to be as great as Stamford New Milford was last night, probably 10 times better today.
We've got Thunderstruck on the sound system tonight, of course, indicative of the Stamford Thunder, whose ballpark we are inhabiting at the moment. I got nothing else to say. Let's play ball.
And let's just keep in mind, just because it is Kubetta Stadium, the tournament being hosted in Stamford, that is not the reason Stamford is home. Before every game of the tournament, there is a coin toss to determine the home team. Stamford has won that toss. They won last night. It was how they got those last licks against another number one seed in New Milford. They've knocked off the only undefeated team in the tournament. Now they look to avenge their only loss as Ben Jerome, the catcher, number 4, steps into the batter's box. Walking back to the dish is Ben Nash. Lockwood getting ready to step onto the bump as we are about to be underway here in the championship game of the 2016 Babe Ruth State Championships. And the first pitch is cut on, flied out to right field. Dawkins tracking underneath it, and there's one away, just one pitch in. AJ, what do you think of the aggressive start there from Jerome?
You want to swing early and often, sometimes not always the best thing to do. You want to see a few more pitches, but he saw a pitch he thought he could hit, made good contact with it. He just hit it right at Jaden Dawkins.
So that brings up the first baseman, Matt Stamford. Lefty facing off against Lockwood as he works from the windup and the pitch. In there for a strike, and the count 0-1. Could see David Collazo at some point in time on the mound tonight. As the 0-1 pitch cut on and missed late from Stamford, 0-2. Matt Jester pitched last time for Stamford when they played against Waterford. It was Zawacki, the center fielder, who pitched for Waterford against Stamford, as the 0-2 from Lockwood on the way. Ball misses up high, and the count now 1-2 to Stamford.
Lockwood showing off a very, very long delivery. He's tall, he's lanky, he's able to get his arm really behind these pitches as he's throwing them through.
One of the bigger players in the tournament as the 1-2 pitch on the way just missed on the outside corner, count now 2-2.
Lockwood thought he had the on the good side for him. Umpires disagreeing.
Sixth pitch of the inning coming from Lockwood. Takes the sign, working from the windup. Here's the 2-2. Curveball in there off the outside corner, and the count runs full.
Really good looking curveball from our vantage point up here, but unable to find the plate.
Just about every part of the ballpark is covered in shade right now. A little glimpse in left center as the 3-2 pitch. Cut on, fouled back into the fence. We'll do it again. It is 89 degrees here in Stamford right now. It feels like 93. It was a hot, hot, and humid day throughout Fairfield County.
It certainly was, as we were at the Darien sidewalk sale earlier this morning, interviewing pretty much anyone who wanted to come by and talk to us.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Cut on, fouled off again. This one, oh, nice catch there. Off the trees, and one of the grounds crew men making a play out in front of the concession stand.
I think most importantly, the viewers need to know, is Eric Gendron's car safe?
So Lockwood waits, shakes off one sign, and Stamford calls time. Eighth pitch of the at-bat to Stamford after Jerome was retired on just one pitch. Lockwood deals. Cut on, fouled off again. This one heading for Mr. Softy.
And right off of Mr. Softy's nose, we are ashamed to say.
That's the only hard ice cream you'll get all day.
Lockwood and Nash. Quick little conversation trying to get on the same page here as Stamford doing a very good job working this count in the first inning.
He's getting good hacks on these pitches, but he's just a little bit late. Maybe you throw something breaking here as long as you're sure you can get it over the plate.
Instead, he goes with the fastball up high. Stamford not taking the bait and reaching first with a walk on 9 pitches.
However it gets done, that's a result you like if you're Waterford. You've made Lockwood throw a bunch of pitches after the first swing out, and now you got a man on first.
So that brings up Jared Burrows. Swinging on the first pitch, it's a ground ball right up the middle. And he is on with a single. Burrows had 3 hits in last night's win, 2 singles and a double as he stays hot at the dish with runners on first and second and big Luke Sokolsky coming to the dish. He was only a home run shy of the cycle last night.
And it looked like that ball did hit off the mound, took a little bit of a funky hop. Don't know that either Tucker Healy or Collazo could have gotten there, but they maybe could have given it a better look.
So runners on first and second. Sokolsky swinging at the first pitch. It's flied out to center field. Coming in, Dawkins calls off Masterson. Makes the play, and there are 2 away.
I think that's a really good play from Jaden Dawkins. Masterson was fooled by that ball. He started back for about 3 steps and then came rushing in. Dawkins looked like he had it all the way.
That brings up Ryan O'Connell, not to be confused with New Canaan High School's standout lacrosse and football player. Instead, he is the stud third baseman for this Waterford team. Here's the pitch to O'Connell. Cut on, missed down low.
Wearing, I don't know, I have to give him credit for wearing the slightly different cleats, but boy, those are pretty scary looking.
A little bit of a neon with call it brick red lace and trim as the 0-1 to O'Connell runs up high, 1-1 the count. Lockwood from both of those caught in the glove of Jaden Dawkins out and right. A walk and a single have placed Stamford and Burrows on first and second. This one cut on and out in front was O'Connell. Two the count. Lockwood shakes off the first sign, likes the second. And the pitch. High and inside, ball 3. Count is full. Runners will be on the move. Lockwood from the stretch. No one being held on. Goes to the dish. Runners on the go. This one cut on. Hit out to right field. Dawkins underneath it. Grabs it with 2 hands. He'll make all 3 plays this inning. 1 walk, 1 hit, 2 men left on. No runs scored in the top half of the first. 0-0 the score. Stamford coming up to the dish when we get back on the HAN Network.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place.
And we welcome you back to the HAN Network. A beautiful view of the Hawk's Nest atop one of the lighting fixtures here at Kubetta Stadium in Stamford. The lights have been turned on as the sun is making its way down behind the clouds. No runs in the top of the half for the first. Stamford coming up to bat. AJ, take us through who we're going to see.
Frank, leading off for the Stamford team is going to be catcher Ben Nash. Following him in the two spot, right fielder Jaden Dawkins, tying a record set by many a baseball player before and after him, making all 3 outs in the single inning. Followed up with Jay Lockwood, the pitcher, hitting third. David Colazzo, the shortstop, will clean up for tonight. Mason Masterson, center fielder, will bat fourth. Todd Gutman after him in the 6th spot. He's in left field. Matt Jester, the third baseman, will hit 7th. Colin McKeever bats 8th. And rounding out the order tonight, Tucker Healy, the second baseman.
Top of the order was a little quiet last night until that final inning for Stamford. Nash had the leadoff walk and scored in the first inning. After that, though, the top 3 batters when it combined 0 for 6, between innings 2 and 6, as that one runs down low and a ball 1-0 to start the game out of the hand of Burrows.
Certainly not how you want to see the top of your order come out to start the game. But, as with so many things, they came through when it mattered.
So that one in there for a strike, the count 1-1 as Burrows deals to Nash. Big breaking ball hangs up high, and the count now 2-1. 2-1 the count. Burrows from the windup runs inside, and it's a ball 3-1.
Backed Nash off the plate just a little bit there. Don't think anything intentional. It just got away from him a little bit inside.
Interesting to see both teams with catchers in the leadoff spot, as this one in there for a strike. The count now 3-2. Very rare to see such speed behind the plate, no matter what level you're at. The 3-2 pitch, cut on, fouled off towards the Stamford dugout. Excuse me, that's the Waterford dugout. We will do that one again.
Of course, folks, do bear with us a little bit as both teams are wearing essentially identical uniforms.
Big difference is you have got this one down low in the dirt, ball 4. Nash leads off the second game in a row with a walk. Waterford is rocking red numbers, white lettering in their name. Stamford rocking red numbers, red lettering, and camo sleeves. Both jerseys very nice, though.
Yes, very simple, not too much extra flair going on.
I also figured out Waterford all wearing the high pants with the multi-socks, which looks awesome. As Nash is going on the pitch, throw down to second, could be in time, applies the tag, what a shoot. Ben Jerome gunned him, put it right on the money, tag applied by Colazzo.
An absolutely perfect throw from Ben Jerome is able to hit Ryan Bakken actually right in the glove as he's down on his knees. The tag, he doesn't even have to move his glove to make the tag.
So 1 away after Nash caught stealing. 1-1 the count to Dawkins. And the 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike on the inside corner. And the 1-2 on the way. Cut on and missed on the outside corner. Excuse me, we had a miscommunication there on the scoreboard. The count now 2-2.
Regardless, Dawkins not happy with himself for swinging at that one.
And they'll get him again, so it won't matter. Dawkins down swinging. And that brings up the pitcher, number 25, Lockwood. Lockwood was very quiet last night, 0 for 3 with a walk in the bottom of the 7th. We'll see if he can get hot here in this championship game. A low pitch in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1.
And of course, as the pitcher, anything you can do to help your cause only makes things that much better.
Big breaking ball stays up high. 1-1 the count as Burrows is dealing very quickly here. The start of this one. In a rhythm, retiring the first two batters, walked the first batter. His catcher picks him up and now dealing here after striking out Dawkins. 2-1 the count to Lockwood. That one down low around the ankles. 3-1 the count. We'll see if they give Lockwood the green light here. They do. He cuts on it. Foul ball back around the press box to our left side. So a 3-2 count now with 2 away here in the bottom of the first.
Didn't hear the ball thunk off the roof, so it must have made the wooded area behind home plate.
And that one roped out to center field just over the reaching glove of Bakken. Lockwood on with his first hit of the championship rounds with a single.
And just a little, I wouldn't even call it a bloop. It was more of a line bloop, if there is such a thing, just over Bakken's glove, like you said, and it falls into short center field.
So that brings up Collazo, the hero of last night with the walk-off single. He's got a runner on first, 2 outs. As a pickoff move here, Lockwood back in with ease. This one gets by Jerome, and Lockwood has second base easily on the wild pitch.
And Frank, like we talked about last night, there is not a whole lot of room behind home plate here at Kubeta Stadium. But if that ball takes an odd carom off the plate, off of the dirt, it's easy extra bases.
A 1-0 pitch runs up high. 2-0 the count now to Collazo with a runner in scoring position. Tanucci holds Lockwood tight. This one cut on, fouled off to the right side.
Duck Rocco. He's okay.
2-1 the count. Burrows from the stretch and deals that one in there for a strike, 2-2. Two-two pitch coming. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Big curveball cut on. Fouled off on the third base side. We'll do it again. Might have been a little high. Collazo not taking any chances. Fights that one off.
And Frank, I think at this spot in the inning, you've got to mention the caught stealing from Ben Nash. Had he bird here with 1 out.
Good eye there. Collazo not taking the bait on the high pitch. And so we've got a full count, and it is fouled back. We'll do it again. Three-two pitch down in the dirt, ball 4. Collazo earns himself a walk. That'll bring up the center fielder, Mike Masterson. Walked once last night, struck out 2 times.
Frank, kind of like we saw Stamford at the beginning of last night's game. They are making the pitcher work early.
That one in there for a strike right down the heart of the plate.
Burrows is throwing strikes, but he's throwing a lot of pitches in the first inning.
The 0-1 pitch. Thinking about swinging was Masterson. Decided not to, and it'll be 0-2 now with 2 away here. Lockwood on second, Collazo on first. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just missing.
The Waterford fans cannot believe they did not get that pitch.
Not sure Masterson could be that lucky again to take one of those. Here's Lockwood's 1-2 on the way. Missing up high that time. 2-2 the count. And now Lockwood at risk. Burrows at risk of losing this battle with Masterson. 2-2 on the way. Big breaking ball in there. Got him strike 3. Nice pitch. Got him looking. 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 left on. No runs. At the end of 1 inning. 0-0. Waterford will come up in the top half of the second here at Kubetta Stadium. We'll be right back on the HAN Network after this.
Mosquitoes, ticks, gone. Guaranteed. That's what Mosquito Squad guarantees as America's most trusted mosquito and tick control company. Locally owned and operated, over 90,000 homes have been protected by Mosquito Squad using their dual protection method for season-long protection, which includes barrier spray service for eliminating mosquitoes and adult ticks, as well as supplemental programs to increase tick control. They use only USDA organic options, which are safe and non-toxic. Contact them today at www.squadctny.com or 203-893-4309. Mosquito Squad. No bugs, no bites, no kidding.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
And we welcome you back to Stamford's Kubetta Stadium. End of 1 inning. Waterford 0, Stamford 0. Both teams leaving 2 runners on base, unable to get them out of scoring position. Big play of the first inning was Nash being thrown out at second.
Absolutely, Frank. And if you look back at how the inning played out after that, had Nash made it to second or stayed at first without attempting a steal, Stamford could have had second and third with 1 out, and that's a really good spot to find yourself in. Instead, he is caught stealing. Lockwood makes it as far as second, but nothing comes of it.
So Lockwood back on the mound. It'll be Anthony Tanucci, the second baseman, leading off for Waterford here in the second inning. Lockwood from the windup deals. Cut on the first pitch. It's fouled off. Looked like it went off Tanucci's left leg.
Excellent fielding play made by the Waterford coach down the third baseline.
Lockwood, unlike Burrows, very patient on the mound, taking his time in between pitches. Burrows threw 31 pitches that first inning compared to Lockwood's 18, but it felt like it went by a lot quicker as this one misses on the outside corner.
Now, Frank, at this stage of the game, do you think this is just Lockwood finding his rhythm? Is there some battery drama going on? I've seen him shake off Nash a few times already.
This one cut on, fouled off to the left side along third base. Retreating there and making the play is Jester, and there's one away in the inning. It has looked, AJ, like Lockwood and Nash have been a little off-key. We saw them after the second pitch that they fouled off on 3-2. Hasn't pitched in a couple days, trying to find his groove. There's that extra added pressure of playing the defending state champions in the championship game. As Lockwood from the windup dealing to Bakken, and the 0-0 runs up high, ball 1. Bakken was absolutely phenomenal on the mound last night. He threw all 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, only walked 2, struck out 1, surrendering no runs in the win. As this one in there, first strike at the knees, 1-1 the count.
And Frank, it's easy to pitch that well when you spotted that big of a lead by your teammates that early in the game.
1-1 pitch from Lockwood, grounder to the shortstop. Fielding there is Collazo, comes up throwing to first, easy play, and there are 2 away in the inning. And AJ, we talked about it last night. That big field, you can't afford to sit back and let the ball come to you. Throws off your timing. Good job by Collazo charging the slow roller.
Definitely. As I said last night, that's the way the pros do it. Comes in, eyes on the ball, is able to field the grounder cleanly, get off a good throw to first, has plenty of time to nail Bakken before he's there.
So 2 down. That brings up Mike Morelli, the left fielder, as this one in there for a strike. Lockwood ahead 0-1. Oh, 0-1 from Lockwood on the way. This one lined out to left field. Patiently waiting there is Gutman. He makes the play, and that'll retire the side. It takes only 7 pitches for Lockwood to get out of the top half of the second. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. At the end of 1.5, Waterford 0, Stamford 0. They're coming up to bat right after this on the HAN network.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
At Cabbage Patch Nursery School in Ridgefield, playtime is learning time. Using activities and programs in science, dance, Spanish, taekwondo, and so much more, learning is made fun. Aside from interactive classrooms, our center features a sensory room, computer lab, and a large outdoor space for playtime fun. Our carefully chosen staff believe in a supportive, safe environment and keeping you updated on your little one's experience. Cabbage Patch Ridgefield, helping shape your child's future. 29 Farrar Lane in Ridgefield. Call 203-340-1250 to register today.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN network.
Bottom half of the second inning here at Bobby Darling Field at Stanford's Kubetta Stadium. Stanford Thunder coming up to bat in the state championship game as this one roped out to left field. Right away, Gutman down as Morelli catches the first pitch out there. Standing about 200 and we'll call it 15 feet away from home plate.
Good enough for me.
So 1 pitch, 1 down as Gutman flies out to left. Frank Granito, AJ Simonowski, and the rest of the HIN network crew on site for the 13 and under Babe Ruth State Championship. 0-0 to this point, and it has been a pitcher's duel through an inning and a half.
And Frank, I think we're going to have him go out down to the field and have a talk with Jared Burrows. He didn't even give us time to come back from commercial before he's throwing.
That one in there for a strike, and the count now 1-1 to Matt Jester. Jester last night 0 for 2 with a walk. That walk coming in the 6th inning. He flew out to end the first inning as well as popping out in the 4th. That one in there for a strike. The count now 1-2. And you are right. Burrows continues to deal very quickly. Gets the sign he likes from Jerome and goes right away as this one from the windup. Cut on, fouled back. Caught on the fence. And they'll have a ball boy retrieve that one. Just past 7:30. I popped out to second base. Catching there is Tanucci as Jester is down after 5 pitches. It looked like it was a breaking ball up in the zone, kind of jammed Jester as he probably didn't want to swing at that one, AJ.
And normally that's the kind of thing that kills you if you are a pitcher. You hear the phrase hanging curveball and you think of something that lands 600 feet later. Jester was not able to get a very good swing on that, and he, of course, then he pops out weakly towards second.
Here's Calvin McKeever, his first at-bat. He was the starting pitcher last night, went 4 1/3, gave up 3 hits as this one fouled back the count quickly 0-2 to McKeever. Gave up 3 hits, allowed 3 runs, 3 of them earned. He walked 7, struck out 4, hit 1 batter. He took a no decision as he left the bases loaded. Gerard, unable to get out of the inning, surrendered 3 runs, and it was Teasdale who came in the 7th to pick up the win, as this one, a hanging curve, hit down the right field line and falling into foul territory.
Worth noting that both foul grounds here, there is a significant amount of area to work with.
This one up high, and Burrows answers back as he quickly retires the side. 3 up, 3 down, no hits, nobody left on. 1 strikeout for Burrows. At the end of 2, Stamford 0, Waterford 0. We'll be right back on the HAN Network after this.
Keep your future star active and happy this summer at Future Stars Sports Academy camps and clinics. The Academy is offering sessions throughout Fairfield County. Sign up for a week of basketball, cheerleading, football, or a multi-sports camp. At Future Stars Academy, children learn the fundamentals while under the supervision of qualified coaches. And what sets the Academy apart is its special Lessons of Life sessions, teaching values and focusing on building self-esteem, friendships, and honesty. Located at Sports Center, Connecticut in Shelton and in Sports in Trumbull. Register online at FutureStarsSportsAcademy.com.
What's happening up in Hartford and what's trending in the Nutmeg State?
Join Kate Czaplinski
And Josh Fisher
on CT Pulse live Wednesdays at 12:30 to find out.
We talk to the leaders and newsmakers while breaking down the stories you should be paying attention to each week.
With the help of HAN's editorial cartoonist Doug Smith, we take a humorous look at the news of the week. We talk about everything you were told you should avoid bringing up in polite company.
CT Pulse, Wednesdays at 12:30 on the HAN Network.
And we are back at Stamford's Kubetta Stadium. A dancing Eric Endrin, a moonwalking A.J. Simonowski, and Frank Granito bringing you tonight's call of the 2016 Babe Ruth State Championships for the 13 and under division. A lot of Michael Jackson played this weekend.
I can tell you is that Billie Jean is not, in fact, my lover.
So we head to the 3rd inning, 0-0 the score. Only 8 pitches last inning to require Lockwood to get out of there. Not too bad by Burrows as he came back throwing only 10. We'll see the bottom of the orders and then back up to the top for the second time tonight as it's the center fielder Robert Zawacki leading off here for Waterford. And this one in there for a called strike, 0-1 on the outside corner.
Pitch looked like it had some late movement to it, probably a two-seam fastball, maybe a slider type pitch, able to dart back in towards the end and catch a part of the plate.
Lockwood's 0-1 cut on, and well behind that one was Zawacki. Starting to cool down a little bit here in Stamford.
For which I am eternally thankful.
As the 0-2 from Lockwood, cut on foul back. We'll do it again. Picks up a sign. Here's the 0-2. He works from the windup. The pitch. A ball up high. Count now 1-2.
And Frank, thus far in the game, we have seen the Waterford hitters foul off a number of pitches. They are getting close to what Lockwood is throwing, but they're still behind it.
It'll be interesting to see as this one misses up high how the lineup reacts when we get around to the next batter. It'll be the top of the order and how they handle Lockwood the second time through. Lockwood steps off. A little miscommunication between him and Nash here. Deep breath, and he's ready to reset. Picks up a sign he likes, and he's ready to deal. That one sails a little wide. And the count now 3-2, quickly working full after the 0-2 start. And not someone that you want to walk after starting 0-2 with the number 9 hitter at the plate. And that pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. Zawacki down looking. So Lockwood comes back after 3 straight balls and is able to retire the first batter. And that'll bring up the catcher, Ben Jerome. He flew out to right field on the first pitch of the game last time.
Less of an issue now that Zawacki has been retired, but like you said, Frank, you never want to let the 9th spot get on with the top of the order coming up.
Especially a walk to start an inning as Lockwood deals to Jerome. That one up and over the head. Lockwood a little sporadic here at the start of the third.
But the good news is that Jerome not the tallest of players on the field, so between ducking and the height of the pitch, he's well out of the way.
The 1-0 from Lockwood on the way. Bounced a little short this time. 2-0 as he has to recompose himself. And we mentioned it before we had our Darien sidewalk sale. The blistering heat, we had a lot of guests on. Great job by Kate Chaplensky. She and the rest of the HAN crew will be back at it tomorrow as that pitch misses low. The count now 3-0. They'll be back at it again tomorrow, this time in New Canaan for their annual sidewalk sale. Make sure to tune in to HAN.network for the coverage if you are unable to make it down there. And it takes just 4 pitches, and Jerome is on base.
Frank, I think what we see in that at-bat is Lockwood's obviously struggling with his control. You walk someone on 4 pitches without direction, your control is not the best, but a wild pitch, a ball well in the dirt in front of the plate, possibly the sweat from just being so hot out there affecting his ability to grip the ball.
First pitch to Stamford is a strike. He walked back in the first inning, made it as far as second base. Jerome takes the lead off first. An interesting lead. He really likes to get up tight to the infield grass as the pickoff move coming. He's back in there safely. Stamford had himself a 9-pitch at-bat, fouled 3 pitches off before earning the walk. Lockwood stares down Jerome for quite a bit. Now comes to the plate. Jerome's going. Here comes the throw from Nash. One hopped, not in time. In there with a stolen base is Jerome.
And Frank Nash, it looked to me, had a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his glove there. And if you can't get a clean transfer on the throw down to second, you're not going to throw out anybody.
Lockwood dealing with Jerome on second base. Works to the dish. Here's the pitch. Big curveball lined out to right field. Will it stay fair? It does. It's just inside the line, and it's going to roll all the way down to the fence. Dawkins giving chase. Jerome scores with ease. Stamford is heading for third. The throw misses the cutoff, and Stamford is in there with a stand-up triple, and the score is 1-0.
And Frank, here's where you see the sheer size of Cabetta Stadium come into play. That ball is absolutely scorched down the right field line, hits just inside the foul line, and rolls all the way. I admit, I did not see if it rolled all the way to the fence. If it didn't, it came close. And these kids, with the arms these kids have, that ball is not getting back in a hurry.
This pitch misses up high to Burrows. Count 1-0. He did single back in the first, but Stamford, the big lefty, turned on a pitch from Lockwood. It was a seeing line drive as it caught just inside the line, and it rolled out quite a bit. Dawkins had to make quite a run for it. He was in there easily with the triple. Jerome could have walked in from second as this one down in the dirt. Good job by Nash preventing the pass ball. So Lockwood from the stretch. That one in there for a strike. Stamford waiting on third. 2-1 count. Burrows, the opposing pitcher, at the dish. And again, he had 3 hits last night. He's already got 1 today. Down in the dirt, gets by. Stamford heading for home. They have a chance at it. Nash's throw could not be caught by Lockwood. And in there on the wild pitch, Stamford takes home. It's 2-0.
As we alluded to earlier, Frank, Lockwood's control has slipped a bit in this inning, and now it's cost him the triple, and now it's cost him another run.
So a meeting at the mound. Nash trying to calm down Lockwood as he surrendered 2 runs after retiring the first batter, and he faces a tough challenge here, down 3-1 to Burrows. able to go from the windup again. Number 25 dealing to the dish. This one misses up high. And on with a walk is Burrows. The Good Humor truck pulling in, playing the song of Yankee Doodle in the background. We'll see if any takers bite the bait for some ice cream as a pickoff attempt here. Keeps Burrows tight to the bag.
I am not ashamed to say I could really go for a strawberry shortcake Good Humor bar.
Burrows going on the pitch. It's high and wide. He has second easily. He takes a big turn. Nash recovers, so it'll just be one base. It'll go on the wild pitch. And Lockwood might be the loneliest man in all of Stamford now, as he is struggling to find anything resembling in the plate. 1-0 the count to Sokolski. Pitch runs high again, 2-0 now. McKeever is unavailable. You can pitch Teasdale if need be. Gerard can go if you need him. Collazo still available too, hasn't been used as this one a grounder to the left side. Lockwood, barehand play, had nothing at first. Checks the runner at second. They'll score an infield single for Sokolski. And AJ, interesting seeing Lockwood going to get that one. You would expect Jester to be charging on it.
I think it may have just been that Jester was playing a little bit too far back. Lockwood really the only one with a shot at making the play, but he tries to barehand the ball, unable to get it set for a throw.
And that one in there for a strike to O'Connell. Runners on first and second now. Burrows reached with a walk, advance on the wild pitch. Sokolski with the infield single. That one down low in the dirt, 1-1 the count. Defending state champions Waterford have put 2 up already in this inning. Is this one in there? Ground line drive through the shortstop hole. Giving chase out there is Gutman. 1 run will score. Gutman unable to get it in time. Now the throw comes. McKeever has it. Holding at third, Sokolski. It's an RBI single for O'Connell.
And Frank O'Connell hits this ball. It's an absolute rope towards short. It looks to me actually like it took a funky bounce up over the head of Collazo. He may have been able to make the play had he gotten a better roll, but it goes up and over his head out into short left field. And as a result, it's an RBI for O'Connell.
And Collazo looked to have been playing tighter to the bag. They had them at double play depth. It was hit hard into the hole. Gutman struggling to get rid of it out in left field quickly. Luckily, though, Sokolski still stuck on third. Going from first is O'Connell. The throw is cut off. We'll see if there's anything from third. So heads up base running as O'Connell takes second. There's no force there now, and they've got runners on second and third with only 1 down here. And Tanucci at the dish. Popped out to the third baseman in his first at-bat last inning. Lockwood's pitch cut on and missed, and the count now 1-1.
And most confusing about this, Frank, is that Lockwood is still throwing very hard. It's just his control has failed him.
That one down and away. Count 2-1. And credit the Waterford hitters. They are, when the pitches are there, though, putting the metal on the ball. And they are driving it with a lot of power right now.
And more importantly, when the pitch is not there, they are laying off of it.
That one cut on and missed. Tanucci chasing there. Count now 2-2 as Lockwood, his first sign of hope in a little while.
Except on maybe that pitch, I think he must have heard me and thought, nah, I'm going to swing.
2-2 the count, 1 away, runners on second and third. 3 runs have already crossed the dish this inning. Tanucci waits. Here's the pitch from Lockwood. Swung on a pitch up high, and he's down on strikes. 2 away here in the top of the third. And that'll bring up Ryan Bakken. The shortstop grounded out to short back in the second inning.
And suffice to say, Frank, that is a big out for Lockwood, able to find his confidence back as he tries to finish out the inning.
That one misses on the outside corner. Looked like Lockwood was a little uncomfortable in his windup there as he got stuck with his leg kick. 1-0 the count. Sokolski off third and the pickoff play, just keeping him honest. Sokolski on third, O'Connell on second. First base open, Bakken at the dish. Lockwood sets, checks the runner. Now to the dish. That one in there for a strike. The count 1-1. And that was a confident-looking pitch from where we're standing, AJ.
Excuse me, it really was. A little bit of a two-seam fastball comes back over the plate, levels the count now. Lockwood with a glimpse of being able to get out of this.
That one just off the inside corner. 2-1 now to Bakken. Top of the third, 2 outs. 2-1 pitch coming from Lockwood here. Bakken at the dish. Up high. Now 3-1. First base is open. A walk will not kill you. A left fielder, Mike Morelli, waiting on deck. That one in there for a strike down at the knees. Full count now, 3-2 with 2 down. And the pitch. Swung on, hit out to left field. Giving chase is Gutman. Not going to be able to make the play as he dives and it rolls out for a while. 2 runs are in. Bakken rounding second. They'll hold him up there. It's a 2 RBI double. And the score now 5-0.
Truly a valiant effort by Gutman out there in left field. He did get a good jump on the ball, but it's tailing away towards the left field line. He's just not able to get there in time to make the play. It rolls past him, and again, the size of Cubetta Stadium, the cavernous ballpark here at Scalzi Park, is the undoing for the Stamford Thunder.
So Bakken, the most recent batter to turn on one of Lockwood's pitches, hugged the line again as Gutman was playing more towards center field, had to chase it down. Again, a great effort, you're right, in the dive attempt. Unable to get there. And with the runners going with 2 outs, it was with ease that they were going to score. The question was, would Bakken end up on second or third? He sits on second now, the count 3-0, as Waterford on the brink of batting around here in the third inning. That one in there for a strike. 3-1 the count to Morelli. A left fielder flied out to left field. Last inning. Lockwood delivers again. 3-2 now the count. Lockwood from the stretch deals. This one cut on and missed, struck him out. But the damage is done nonetheless. 5 runs scored, 4 hits, 3 walks. And at the end of 2.5, Waterford 5, Stamford nothing. They'll have a rebuttal when we get back here on the HAN Network.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
And we are back here in Scalzi Park in Stamford, Connecticut. Cubetta Stadium, Bobby Darling Field, the 13 and under Babe Ruth State Championships. Waterford coming out in the top of the third, hanging up a 5 spot off Jay Lockwood. Stamford with a chance to answer now in the bottom half. They still sit with 0.
And Frank, it's the obvious thing to say, but you got to start with 1. You can't hit 5 men home all in one swing. You have to start small, get men on base, and get them moving.
Burrows deals quickly here as this one sails up high. Tucker Healy, the second baseman, will round out the order. It's 1-0 to him, and we will see the top of the order for the second time tonight after Healy's at bat. Burrows' second pitch bounces down low in the dirt. Good job by Jerome stopping it. 2-0 quickly.
Exactly like you said, Frank. A really good effort by Jerome to corral that ball. It actually looked like it hit right on the front edge of the plate, and who knows where it's going after that.
That one right down the heart of the dish. In there for a strike, 2-1. Burrows threw 31 pitches in that first inning, came back and threw only 10 in the second, as his fourth pitch of the third is fouled back. 2-2 the count. Two the count to Healy. The second baseman pops one up along the right side. Underneath it there is Stamford making the play, and there's one away.
And Frank, as I alluded to earlier in the game, didn't come into play on this particular play, but there is a lot of foul ground here to work with. If a fielder gets a good jump on a ball, a foul ball is not an automatic safe ball.
So that leads to the top of the order now. Ben Nash, the catcher, his second at bat. He walked to lead off the first inning, but was caught stealing just a pitch later. As that one in there for a strike, Burrows back in front.
Burrows almost Mark Burley-esque. Gets the ball, sets himself, throws.
Hanging curveball there, no swing, the count 1-1. And you're right, we just continue to be amazed by how quickly Burrows picks up the sign. Him and Jerome clearly on the same page, as it looked like he stumbled there. This one grounded and foul along the right side. 1-2 the count now. Burrows will look to put Nash away.
Frank, I did notice the stumble from Burrows as he followed through on that pitch. Did his lead leg catch, or was it his back leg? I wasn't quite sure.
It looked like it was his lead leg. We saw him just fix the divot at the front of the mound, as here comes the 1-2 pitch on the outside corner. Ball 2.
And no athletes are creatures of habit more than I would say baseball players. If that divot is not in the exact spot, he's going to do anything he can to fix it.
That one in there, and Nash is down looking. Fastball at the knees, and there's 2 away here. As it's the right fielder, Jaden Dawkins, coming up to the dish now. Dawkins 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out in the first inning. Last night, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt and a walk, as this one misses for a ball.
Big curveball that didn't curve, and I think it's still a little bit early in the game to panic. Obviously, the 5 spot is huge if you are Waterford, but we have seen that Dawkins can run. You get him on, you can play a little bit of small ball and start manufacturing some runs.
And we've seen how quickly Stamford can score, trailing by 2 going into the last inning last night. This one a ball down low and away, 2-1. And they're able to come back and score 3 runs without registering an out in that last inning. Pitch from Burrows. Misses down low. 3-1 count now. We'll see if Dawkins gets aggressive here. There was some action going out in the Stamford bullpen. Dawkins a big swing. Unable to connect. Full count now with 2 away. It looks like Gerard may have been warming up. Or Teasdale. We'll have more on that for the next inning. As the 3-2 pitch swung on and missed. Holding on to it is Jerome. So Burrows continues to make quick work of this lineup. 3 up, 3 down, 2 strikeouts for the young man in that inning. Waterford 5, Stamford nothing at the end of 3 from Cubetta Stadium. We'll be right back after this on the HAN Network.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Have a Sports Injury Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to Coastal Ortho.
13 and under, Babe Ruth State Championships. A rough third inning for Jay Lockwood, but he stays on the mound.
That's right, Frank. And I think this is more of an innings concern from the Stamford coaching staff. We see a handful of players running out there and stretching now. You're concerned about the bullpen and who's got how many innings left for today, how many pitches can they throw. It may be better for you at this point to leave Lockwood out there, hope he can get through this next frame with a minimum of damage, and then you go to the relief pen.
We'll see how he responds. He was a little shaky in the second good first inning for him. He had the one tough at bat with Stamford. He had 9 pitches, only threw 18. Came back in the second, very dominant, 8 pitches, retired all 3 batters. 40 pitches in that third inning. Surrendered 5 runs on 4 hits. Walked 3 batters. And it'll be the same order we saw last inning as Zawacki will lead off. The center fielder struck out his first at-bat. That first pitch, a breaking ball down in the dirt.
And Frank, worth noting, just to show you the kind of inning that Lockwood had, though he gave up the 5 runs and the 4 hits, all 3 of his outs were recorded via the strikeout.
It was an interesting inning nonetheless. There were times where he had batters 3-2, 2-2, and that was when they teed off on a pitch. Inconsistent was the best way to describe it, but he's been either on top of them or nowhere near the plate.
What we've seen so far is the stuff is absolutely there, the velocity, the break, etc. It's the control that hasn't been there for him today.
Going with a breaking pitch 3-0, and he gets it in there for a called strike. Zawacki taking all the way. So here's the 3-1. Runs high and outside. Ball 4. Zawacki leads off the inning with a walk. And we will see how much room Coach Pearsall gives Lockwood as he now gets back to the top of the order. Jerome walked, stole a base, and scored in the last inning. He flew out to right to start the game. Lockwood checks on Zawacki. Here comes the pitch to the plate. In there for a strike. 0-1 the count.
And much as we saw last night, Frank, the walks just continue to come back on Stamford and bite them in the rear end.
Very tough to win a game when you were walking over 6-7 batters as Zawacki, big jump, does not go. That one in there for a strike as well. 0-2 the count quickly to Jerome. Lockwood's able to capitalize and take advantage here.
I think that was a good play by Nash. He received the pitch and hopped up immediately. Had Zawacki gone.
This time Zawacki going. Jerome down on strikes. The throw not in time. Check that. It was a ball there on the outside corner. Just missing.
It's almost like he heard me.
1-2 the count. Zawacki in with the stolen base. That one from Lockwood just misses outside. 2-2 now.
And at this point, Frank, if you're Stamford, I think you need to consult with the coaching staff. You got to get someone warming. Lockwood's clearly having issues with his control as this one's flied out into shallow center field. Masterson comes on, can't make the play. You got to get somebody up and going because it's clearly not working right for Jay Lockwood right now.
And that right there is a great example of the difficulties that come into play. That is a routine blooper just off the edge of the infield, but it is a long run from playing tight at second base or deep in center field for these young guns. So that brings up Stamford. tripled his last at bat as this one. A pickoff attempt gets away. Zawacki heading for third. He will make it there safely as Healy unable to scoop the low ball.
And Frank, I'm gonna call this one as this one being on the pitcher. Did not look like Healy was ready for this play. Did not get there in time. The throw was low as it was, and Zawacki heads to third.
And that'll be the first error of the game. As Big Sanford's at the plate, it was a RBI triple the last time at the dish as he roped one down the right field line. Going this time is Jerome. Letting the throw come through. Did they get him? They did. Nifty little play right there. Healy faked the cutoff. Collazo picked it up. Jerome choosing not to slide, and he's tagged out at second.
I think the unfortunate thing for Jerome, Frank, is that if he had slid, he probably would have been in there with the second stolen base of the inning.
So he's caught stealing. Zawacki still sits on third. Stamford at the dish. This one up high. The count moves to 1-1. This one popped up along the third base side. We'll see if Jester has room, and he will not as it's just behind the Stamford dugout. So 1-2 the count to Stamford. One down after Jerome is caught stealing. Zawacki sits on third after a stolen base and advancing on an error. Lockwood likes the sign this time. Works to the dish. Swung on, hit out to left field. Gutman has got to retreat. Can he get there in time? He does. Zawacki should score with ease. Gutman's throw comes in. Jester cuts it off. Will score it a sac fly. And the score now 6-0.
Doesn't matter how deep you get with a sac fly. You've just got to get it deep enough, and that's exactly what Sanford does. Hits a ball slicing down towards the left field line. Gutman's able to make the play with ease this time, but it's deep enough that Zawacki is able to score with barely a throw.
They will appeal to third, thinking he might have left early. It is ruled it was on time. Lockwood now resets, working from the windup as he stares down Burrows. Curveball in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count with 2 away. 6-0 the score. And with the way Burrows is dealing, you have to wonder if that might be too much for Stamford. Another curveball in there catches a piece of the outside corner. 0-2 now. That one runs up high. Not biting the bait was Burrows. 1-2 the count. Lockwood cannot afford to lose this batter. And the 1-2. This one swung on, flied out to left center field. Gutman underneath it. Able to make the play, and that'll end the inning. 1 walk, 1 hit. Nobody left on. 1 run scored. At the end of 3.5, Waterford 6, Stamford 0, right here on the HAN Network. We'll be right back after this.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
We are back here for the bottom of the fourth inning. Stamford's Gubetta Stadium, the 2016 13 and under Babe Ruth State Championship game. Frank Granito and A.J. Simonowski bringing you this call from high up in the press box as Waterford extends its lead in the top half of the inning and now sit 6-0 over the Stamford Thunder as the pitcher Jay Lockwood heads up to the plate. Lockwood singled back in the first, advanced to second on a wild pitch, and was stranded there. This is second at bat as Burrows quickly dealing. Curveball misses up high.
And Frank, though he gave up the sixth run and the error on the blown pickoff attempt at second, it's hard to say that was a bad inning for Lockwood. He did respond fairly well after the blow up in the third.
Only surrendered the one hit. There was the leadoff walk. But again, the error pickoff, as that one in there for a strike, 2-1 the count to Lockwood. The error pickoff attempt really proved to be costly, as the next batter would bring him in on a sacrifice fly. 2-1 pitch on the way. Lockwood inside outs one down the right was Sokolsky, but unable to track it down in time. It'll be a 2-2 pitch when he returns to the field of play.
Boy, Sokolsky was going just as fast as he possibly could to try and get that ball. Headed a little bit more into foul ground than he could cover.
2-2 the count. Burrows sets, deals from the windup. The pitch on the outside corner. Strike three. Lockwood down looking. As Waterford taking form as the defending state champions and starting to put on a clinic here.
And that's Burrows' fifth strikeout already. We're only one batter into the fourth inning. His control is absolutely pinpoint tonight.
5 strikeouts to just 2 walks as David Collazo steps up to the plate. And if there is a player who can get this lineup going right now, it has got to be Collazo. First pitch missed low. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Down in the dirt again. 2-0 the count. Burrows wasting no time. The pitch runs up high, 3-0. Collazo did walk back in the first. An 8-pitch at bat before earning that base. Now ahead 3-0 against Burrows as the pitch comes in. Down the heart of the plate, taking all the way, and it's strike one. Three-one pitch on the way. Ground ball right up the middle. It'll go all the way to center field. And on with a single. First hit in a couple innings now is Collazo.
And Frank, if you're Stamford, that's how it's got to start. Collazo was your best hitter last night. He's been one of your better hitters tonight in the limited action they've had. You get him on. Now you can go to work.
Collazo on first. Masterson at the dish. One away. Pickoff attempt coming. Collazo back in there safely. Good quick move from Burrows. Collazo and Masterson pick up a sign here. No one going there. That one in for a strike to Masterson. Struck out looking to end the first inning. Struck out twice last night. His only time on base in the championship games was a walk in the first inning against New Milford. That pitch up high, 1-1 the count. Only 2 hits through 3 1/3 innings for Stamford this far. That one swung on, fouled back. 1-2 the count to Masterson. One away here. 6-0 Waterford. Bottom of the fourth in the championship game.
Stamford is making Burrows work, but they've got to start. They have to start putting some of these balls in play. His control is just too good at this point. If you're taking, chances are he'll strike you out.
Pickoff attempt not in time. Burrows checks the runner again, comes to the plate here. Grounder to the left side, fielding at third. They'll go to second for one. Back to first. Is it in time? No. Dropping it there was Sanford. But a nice play from O'Connell at third. Good turn attempt from Tanucci. So Masterson on after the fielder's choice.
And Tanucci's throw just a little bit low and back towards the home base side of the plate. They had him in time. With a better throw, they could have gotten him.
Stamford did get a piece of it, just unable to completely scoop it and hold on to it. Pickoff attempt again, keeping Masterson tight. So 2 away now in the bottom of the fourth. And the left fielder comes to the dish. Flew out to center in his last at bat. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped in the air again. This one to left center field, giving chase. And able to make the play is Robert Zawacki. So 1 hit, 1 runner stranded, no runs at the end of 4. Waterford 6, Stamford nothing here on the HAN Network. We'll be right back after this.
Mosquitoes, ticks, gone. Guaranteed. That's what Mosquito Squad guarantees as America's most trusted mosquito and tick control company. Locally owned and operated, over 90,000 homes have been protected by Mosquito Squad using their dual protection method for season-long protection, which includes barrier spray service for eliminating mosquitoes and adult ticks, as well as supplemental programs to increase tick control. They use only USDA organic options, which are safe and non-toxic. Contact them today at www.squadctny.com or 203-893-4309. Mosquito Squad. No bugs, no bites, no kidding.
The HAN Network is the leader in local broadcasting in Fairfield and Westchester counties. We reach tens of thousands of viewers via our live news, sports, and entertainment broadcasting. We can create your advertisement and broadcast it through our programming to one of the most affluent markets in the United States. And remember, our broadcasting is live, which means viewers cannot skip or click past your marketing message. And we measure our audience and their demographics on every broadcast. To advertise on the HAN Network, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We are back here on the HAN Network. Frank Granito, AJ Simonowski, bringing you live coverage of the 2016 Babe Ruth State Championships, the 13 and under division. Jay Lockwood still on the mound for the Stamford Thunder, AJ.
And Frank, I have to imagine at this stage of the game, this is due to a lack of availability from the Stamford bench, whether due to innings counts or pitch counts. However it is exactly that these things are determined, Lockwood should have been substituted for already, but Stamford has not chosen to do so.
This one lined down the third base side, and it'll roll past both the third baseman and the left fielder. Sokolsky swinging at the first pitch, heading towards second, and is in there with a stand-up double to start off the fifth.
And a ball hit like that hard in that position is going to be a double in just about any ballpark you're going to find. If it's allowed to roll out to that left field corner, you can hit second, stand up, dust yourself off, check all the padding before the ball gets in.
So it's Ryan O'Connell now standing in there as he takes a first pitch strike. And credit the Waterford hitters. They have been painting these foul lines tonight, working every inch of this field. The 0-1 from Lockwood, swung on by O'Connell, popped up along the third base side. We'll see if Jester's got room, but he's unable to track it down.
Looked like he gave it a good effort. The hat came off, and that is my personal gauge for how successful a play is going to be. If your hat comes off while you're if you're a catcher and you're throwing down to second, you got to throw it so the mask comes off. That's the way you know you make the play.
So 0-2 from Lockwood. Sokolsky on second, O'Connell at the dish, and he's down on strikes. That one on the outside corner at the knees.
And certainly a big confident strikeout for Lockwood as he's able to retire O'Connell, who had scored with an RBI in the third as part of that huge Waterford explosion of offense. And he's now with the first out in the fifth.
First pitch to Tanucci is a ball off the outside corner. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Popped out to third in the second. Struck out in the third inning. A 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit out to left field. Gutman retreats, is underneath it. Sokolsky shows tag, will not. And there are 2 away as Bakken steps up to the plate. He grounded out to short in the second. Came back with the huge double in the third inning that scored 2 runs. Two down. First pitch on the way, up over the head, and it goes for ball 1. Sokolsky leads off second. Healy in charge of keeping him tight. This one grounded to the left side. Through the legs, it's Collazo now tries to make a play from all the way across the infield. Jester unable to grab it as it took an unfortunate hop. Credit Collazo for backing him up, trying to fire it across. But unable to pull off the Derek Jeter jump throw in the hole.
And Frank, given how that play developed, it's a miracle Collazo was able to get it as close as he was, as the ball 5 holes Jester on an odd hop. Collazo backs him up and is able to get off the throw to first, but not in enough time.
Scored an error in the books, the second one against Stamford. So now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Pickoff attempt, keeping Bakken honest. As they have got Morelli at the dish. And we'll see a mound visit here from Coach Pierce. 2 outs, 1 ball, and no strikes. The count to Morelli.
And Frank, at this point, looks to be just a mound visit as they're going to try and keep Lockwood in this inning and have him work through the trouble.
And with 2 outs, you have to assume they're discussing how they want to handle the runner on first. Should he try to steal, do you go and try to throw him out, risk allowing that run to score, or do you let the runner advance, trust in your pitcher here to get number 8 batter out?
At this point, I think you've got to go. I think you've got to let Lockwood get the man at the plate. Nash has not really been able to get off a lot of clean throws towards second, and you risk the ball getting away and turning a small nick into a huge cut.
Bakken had a big lead over there on first. Lockwood keeping him honest, as we expect to see the runner go here. Another big lead from number 33. Lockwood this time to the dish. Bakken goes. Here comes the throw. Fakes. Checks the runner on third. Bakken in there with a stolen base. And we've got runners on second and third now with 2 outs. And like you said, AJ, let the runner advance. Trust your pitcher to get the number 8 hitter out. Pitch on the way. Cut on. Fouled back. Count now 1-1. And they are going to adjust the scoreboard here. The count is 0-2. As the first pitch was in there for a strike. So Lockwood ahead 0-2. Big curveball just missed off the outside corner. That was a nice looking pitch, AJ.
Frank, I admit that I was looking down at my scorecard, didn't see it, but it sounded good. You can hear the snap on the glove.
A big hook. Good job by Morelli not chasing as this one down low and away, and now quickly back to 2-2. And Lockwood in a little bit of trouble now. That one bounces in there. 3-2 the count. Runners take their leads off second and third. Morelli stands in there. The pitch from Lockwood on the way. Ground to the left side. Fielding is Collazo. Comes up, pumps once, throws to first. A little high. Nice job by McKeever to recover, come down on the bag. So they are able to escape the inning. 1 hit, 1 error, 2 runners left on. It's still 6-0 in favor of Waterford as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning right after this on the HAN Network.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
At Cabbage Patch Nursery School in Ridgefield, playtime is learning time. Using out-of-the-box activities and programs in science, dance, Spanish, taekwondo, and so much more, learning is made fun. Aside from interactive classrooms, our center features a sensory room, computer lab, and a large outdoor space for playtime fun. Our carefully chosen staff believe in a supportive, safe environment and keeping you updated on your little one's experience. Cabbage Patch Ridgefield, helping shape your child's future. 29 Farrar Lane in Ridgefield. Call 203-340-1250 to register today.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
And we welcome you back to a quick pitch from Burrows to start the inning. Jester fouls that one back. Bottom of the fifth inning, AJ. 6-0 in favor of Waterford. What does Stamford have to do right now?
Anything. Absolutely anything that they can do to start putting some runs on the board. Bottom of the fifth inning here, you're running out of time to work with, down 6-0.
That one missing for a ball. Only 2 hits from Stamford thus far. Pitch count for Burrows right at 73 right now. Count 2-1 after that pitch. That one just outside.
For fans. And so far tonight, Frank, we have seen Waterford really put on a repeat performance from yesterday. Pitching has been dominant as this one's in there for a called strike, too. Count now runs full on Jester.
Jester popped out to second back in the second inning. As here comes the payoff pitch, down low and away, missing. Jester a little excited after the walk, took a tumble, but he's good to go as he struts on down to first base.
Normally my inclination would be to roast the young fella for that, but it's just too funny. I can't do it.
Anything that'll get him going at this point in time. We'll see how aggressive or how much small ball Stamford wants to play here. As it's McKeever at the dish now. Cut on well behind that pitch and the strike 0-1. McKeever playing catch up to Burrows there. Dealing quickly again. Peeks at the runner on first. Comes to the dish. This one cut on, popped up to right side. Giving chase over in right field to Sokolsky. Diving effort in foul territory, but unable to make the play.
You got to give Sokolsky a lot of credit. He is going full bore after anything hit, even in the same zip code as him.
That was about a 60-yard run from where he's playing to that right field, just about 5 yards over the right field line. As the 0-2 comes in there, McKeever up high, fouls that one back. Burrows still ahead 0-2. Checks the runner, quickly pickoff move here. And back is Jester.
And that one probably a little bit closer than Stamford would like to see.
Burrows to the dish. McKeever cut on, fouled off again. Count still 0-2.
And Stamford has put good at-bats together against Burrows. They just haven't been able to come through with the hits.
Good at-bat here from McKeever, staying alive. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just missed. And the count 1-2. We've seen a lot in this tournament, AJ. Pitcher just misses, doesn't get a call he likes. They press a little bit on that next pitch.
At this level of baseball, it's easy to get a little bit rattled in that regard.
This one swung on, hit down the right field side, and it'll go foul again as McKeever continues to battle here.
And it's one of the things as a pitcher you just have to work on as you get older. You think you made a really good pitch, you hit your spot, the umpire doesn't see it. You have to come back again and either hit the spot or respond with a different pitch.
This time it's lined to the right side, and that one will fall in. Coming up, Sokolsky, he fires to second. It is not in time. Jester in there. Looks a little uncomfortable after that slide. He might be in some pain.
Frankie looks to be okay. Just slid a little bit over the base, caught himself in the midsection. Down, taking a knee right now. Coach is out to check on him, and everything seems to be okay. Just take a minute to collect himself.
And AJ, while we've got a second here, we can acknowledge we have got a pinch hitter coming to the dish for Stamford. It is Andrew Steitzel, number 32, who will be hitting for Tucker Healy. Steitzel did have an at-bat last night. He earned himself a walk and then scored to lead off the 7th inning.
The big walk last night in the 7th, Frank, really sparked the Stamford rally that ended up winning the game.
And, of course, remember, with the re-entry rule, is this one in there for a strike to Steitzel, Healy can be pinch hit for and go back and play the field because he is a starter. Let's credit the at-bat of McKeever, that last one, too, as this one grounded up the middle. Will get through. Fielding there at second, tags the base, throws to first in time, and it's a double play.
And an absolutely picture-perfect turn from Bakken over to Matt Sanford at first. That's how you do it. There's no analysis to be had there. That's how you turn a double play.
So that brings us back to the top of the order with the catcher Nash at the dish. Burrows wasting no time, throws one inside, ball one. And it helped out a lot, Bakken, that they were holding the runner tight to second. He was already up in the hole. As this one cut on, fouled back the count. Moves to 1-1. Jester advances to third. A base hit will score him, and they desperately need a run here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. But again, an unbelievable double play turn from Bakken to Sanford there, as that one misses on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. 0 for 1 today with a walk is Nash. He struck out back in the 3rd. Leadoff walk was caught stealing in the 1st. Here's the 2-1 pitch. This one popped over to the left side. It's going to drop in. 1 run will score. It doesn't have to be pretty, but the Dying Quail gets it done. Nash on with a single. Stamford on the board. And we now sit 6-1 in favor of Waterford.
And as we've said before, Frank, it's a function of the size of this ballpark versus the size of the players that are out there. Ryan O'Connell is playing well in on third, has to go back for that one as Mike Morelli has to come in, neither with the speed to get there in time. And that's a tough play to make no matter what level you're at.
Good bounce back from Burrows as the first pitch to Dawkins is a strike. Dawkins 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts on the night. Curveball down low, missing. 1-1. .833 here in Stamford. Bottom of the 5th inning. That one on the outside corner. Dawkins disagrees. Nevertheless, the count 1-2. 86 degrees outside. A lot less humid than it was today as it becomes beautiful baseball weather here. That one swung on and missed. Dawkins down on strikes, chasing up high and away. So they're able to pick up 1 run, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 runner left on, 1 run scored. At the end of 5, it's Waterford 6, Stamford 1 here on the HAN Network.
Keep your future star active and happy this summer at Future Stars Sports Academy camps and clinics. The Academy is offering sessions throughout Fairfield County. Sign up for a week of basketball, cheerleading, football, or a multi-sports camp. At Future Stars Academy, children learn the fundamentals while under the supervision of qualified coaches. And what sets the Academy apart is its special Lessons of Life sessions, teaching values and focusing on building self-esteem, friendships, and honesty. Located at Sports Center, Connecticut in Shelton and in Sports in Trumbull. Register online at futurestarssportsacademy.com.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We are back here on the HAN Network. Frank Granito, AJ Simonowski, bringing you coverage of this year's Babe Ruth State Championships for the 13 and under division from Stamford's Kubetta Stadium. It'll be Robert Zawacki leading off here in the top of the sixth for Waterford. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for Stamford. As expected, though, Tucker Healy has returned to second base. AJ, who will be on the mound for the Thunder?
And Frank, it is Patrick Teasdale taking the rubber now for Stamford. Came in at the end of last night's game and set down New Milford ahead of the big Stamford rally. He looks to stop the bleeding here so that Stamford can get back further into this game.
Looks like Lockwood has moved over to third. Jester is out of the game, I believe.
Do not see him out there, so I believe you are correct.
So Teasdale into pitch. Lockwood moves to third. Healy back at second. Jester sits down. Teasdale came in relief last night, pitched the seventh inning, surrendered no runs. Picked up the win for the Thunder. The youngster is a bit of a junk ball pitcher. We'll see how Waterford handles it as this one. First pitch swung on, hit out to left field. Gutman diving, can't make the play. It keeps rolling out there, and there's no one waiting for it. Zawacki around second. He will be held up there. As finally coming over from center field is Masterson to pick up the ball.
And Frank, you really do have to credit Masterson for hustling over on that play. The ball is by Gutman. He has no idea where it is. There's mass confusion at that point. Masterson hustles over, is able to retrieve it. That could have easily been a triple, or with a harder hit ball, that could have been an inside the park home run.
So one pitch for Teasdale, and he's already got a runner on second. Here's the top of the order. It's Ben Jerome. This one cut on, fouled back. As jumping all over the junk ball pitcher is this Waterford squad. And time is called here as Coach Pearsa wants to go out and check on Gutman in left field.
Seems to be more of a pep talk than a physical check-in. Gutman looked to be a little shaken up as he dove for that one and not able to come up with it. Pat on the head, some, as the technical term, some dap from his center fielder.
Daps? Guess that would be. I'm very confused with the daps and the dab now.
I know a dab is a pose. I'm wondering if the singular of daps is dap. That's a conversation for another time.
So the 0-1 from Teasdale, swung on, cut on, and fouled off from Jerome. 0-2 the count. We are here in the top of the sixth. Still a hot, sticky night. Curveball in there coming up short.
And Jerome was fooled by it for just a second. Good for him he held up, because if he had swung, I think the ball would have been in midair as he was going around.
That one, curveball bouncing in again. So the count now 2-2 to Jerome. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Nice curve ball there as he pulled the string, and Jerome's down via the strikeout.
Big, healthy cut on that one, but way, way out in front was Jerome. And that is the positive side of being a junk ball pitcher. You're not going to throw it with the velocity, so you've got to hit your spots and move the ball around. And at this level, if you can do that well, you're going to have success. Heck, even at the higher levels, if you can do that well, you're going to have success.
That pitch missing to Stamford, a ball 1-0. Stamford sacrificed fly back in the fourth, scored a run, had an RBI triple in the third, walked back in the first.
Teasdale tries for a pickoff at second. Collazo is there with the tag. Teasdale thought he had him. The referee says no.
Here's the pitch from Teasdale. Swung on, hit to the right side. Fielding there is Healy, quickly fires to first. There's 2 away in the inning. We can finally tell you the final numbers for Jay Lockwood. 5 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, as the error was against him. 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. He stands to take the loss right now as Teasdale steps off the bump.
Certainly not the type of night Stamford was hoping to get out of. Sometimes, Frank, that's just the way the game goes.
Another curveball in there for a strike as Teasdale fooling the Waterford lineup right now with the junk. That one sails on him, staying up high. 1-1 the count. Of course, at the 13-year-old level, we will play 7 innings. So Stamford with at least 2 more at-bats. Fastball down low, misses. 2-1 the count. If Teasdale is able to hold serve, they'll have to find a way to come up with 5 runs over those 2 innings. Missing again up high, 3-1 now to Burrows.
And conversely, Frank, as we had seen early on, when the control is not there, it is very easy to lose the hitters.
So that pitch misses again. That's the first walk that we see from Teasdale. As Burrows trots down to first. Runners on the corner now with 2 outs. And Sokolsky stepping up to the plate as he is serenaded by the sounds of Luke's. Those are not boos.
Never a chant that I was personally a fan of.
Pickoff attempt and back in there safely.
As Eric Gendron responds with a Luke of his own. In all honesty, sounding a bit like Chewbacca. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Uke, referring to former Red Sox third baseman and potential shaved bear Kevin Youkilis.
1-0 the count to Sokolsky. Runners now at second and third after Burrows steals second. Here's the pitch. Down low in the dirt. Good job by Nash keeping it in front of him. 2-0 the count. As Waterford getting a little bit of a taste in their mouths of a championship now. On the verge of blowing this one open. The cleanup hitter against the junk ball pitcher. That one up high. As it looks as though Teasdale wants nothing to do with the heart of this order.
But at some point, Frank, no matter who you are, you got to throw the ball over the plate.
3-0 pitch. Misses high, and the base is now loaded as Ryan O'Connell makes his way to the plate.
We have an official's timeout to clean off the plate. This is why I could never be a baseball official. My own personal OCD, I would probably be brushing the plate off in between every other pitch.
I feel like that could have been a really good Seinfeld skit right there about umpires brushing off the plate. Here's the pitch from Teasdale. The 0-0 to O'Connell is in there for a called strike, 0-1 the count.
That's a big, big strike from Teasdale.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. 6-1 Waterford here in the top of the 6th. Teasdale's 0-1 pitch in there again, and the count now 0-2. Infield back, runners allowed to roam freely. Teasdale working from the windup. Curveball fouled off as he almost got O'Connell to chase that one.
And O'Connell lucky that he got a piece of that at all because he was way, way out in front.
That curveball misses up high. 1-2 the count now. A reminder to all of our fans that you can watch all 3 of our championship games live, or all of our live coverages of these championship games as the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Holding on to it is Nash. That strike 3 will end the inning. You can watch all of these games on HAN.network in the on-demand section, as at the end of 5 1/2, it's still 6-1 Waterford. Teasdale, 2 strikeouts in that inning after surrendering 1 hit on 2 walks. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th right after this on the HAN Network. We'll be right back.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
We are back on the HAN Network. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up 6-1 in favor of Waterford. And time is running out for the Stamford Thunder, AJ.
Frank, I would dare say we're back in black.
Oh, man.
Had to leave it out there as the sounds of AC/DC's classic Back in Black over the Stadium PA here. Eric Gendron says I'm the worst.
I concur.
I don't care. Back in Back is a classic.
Back in Back. So here's Lockwood at the dish. That one down low in the dirt as Burrows still standing on the mound. North of 90 pitches now for Waterford. Lockwood 1 for 2 today. Singled in the first, struck out in the 4th. A 1-0 pitch. Down low, 2-0 the count. That one, big cut from Lockwood. Well behind it, though, as Burrows continues to show off the heat here late in the game.
Which has been a trend for both offenses in today's game. When they haven't been able to catch up to the ball, they have been well behind it. As this one's in low, count runs to 3-1.
Breaking ball there. Good job by Lockwood laying off the junk. So now a hitter's count at 3-1. Burrows quickly takes a sign, deals to the dish. Gasses him again, and the count now 3-2 as Lockwood playing catch-up.
And Frank, from where I stand up here, this looks like Lockwood is pressing. He wants to get on base so badly that he's not being as patient as he could, and the ref rings him up here with a called strike 3.
Frozen at the dish, Lockwood down looking. 8th strikeout of the night for Burrows.
And that is impressive.
Here's Collazo at the dish, taking on the first pitch, and it goes for a strike. 0-1 the count. 8 strikeouts to just 3 walks from Burrows tonight. Breaking ball in the dirt, 1-1 the count.
Collazo was absolutely fooled by that one. Luckily, he decided to lay off of it.
Get the Thunder back into this one as they come to life a little bit. Two and 1 the count as that one almost caught Collazo. That down low in the dirt. 3-1. Collazo 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Has been Stanford's hottest hitter all tournament. We'll see if he can get them started here in the 6th. Could be his last at-bat of the tournament. Cut on and missed. Burrows still well ahead of all these batters.
And Frank, this is what you have to say about Burrows' night so far. He has gone to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, several full counts on these batters and has been able to put them away. He walks Collazo here, but normally he's been able to induce some weak contact or flat out strike them out. And that's what you want to see from your pitcher.
And the velocity is still impressive now as he is up over 100 pitches tonight. Collazo walks. He's on first with 1 out. Masterson steps up to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. Pickoff attempt coming. Collazo back in safely. This one popped up. Foul territory on the right side and makes its way up into the stands out of play.
Takes a big bounce off of the concrete stands here at Cubetta Stadium. As some of the younger fans in attendance tonight run after it.
Burrows peeks the runner, comes to the dish. That one a little high, 1-1 the count. Back to the plate again, inside, handcuffs him, and it's a slow ground to the left side. Fielding there, fires from third. Nicely done. As O'Connell able to retire Masterson.
And here we see the advantage of the long, lanky stride of Ryan O'Connell and the long arms. He's able to get to that ball just a little bit faster and get a good throw off to first and get Masterson coming down the line.
Another good pitch from Burrows as he handcuffs Masterson. Takes away any chance of a hard hit ball. And we now see Gutman stepping up to the plate. That pitch taken for a strike with 2 down and Collazo on second. Curveball swung on here, hit to O'Connell. Checks the runner, comes over to first with 2 outs, and that's going to do it for the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. We head to the final inning. Waterford 6 outs away from moving to regionals. They lead 6-1 on top of the Stamford Thunder. We'll be right back on the HAN Network after this.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN Network.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back for the final inning of play. Waterford's last chance to bat here and build a little more cushion on their 5-run lead. As this one, a hot shot to the left side past third baseman Jay Lockwood. As teeing off of Teasdale is number 19, the second baseman, Anthony Tanucci. As once again we see a Waterford batter jump all over a first pitch.
And Frank, I think this has to be the story of the night, aside from the truly dominant pitching of Burrows, is that Waterford has been making solid contact nearly every at-bat. They haven't always gotten the ball through, but when they have, it's been a hot shot. There have been no easy bloop singles off of the Waterford bats tonight.
Teasdale first pitch misses. It's a ball, 1-0. That one away outside, so now 2-0 the count as Bakken is at the dish. He reached on an error, doubled in the third, and grounded out back in the second. That was a 2 RBI double. He also has a stolen base on the night. That one in there low for a strike, 2-1 the count.
Fantastic looking curveball there from Teasdale. As we've said, he doesn't have the velocity of some of the other pitchers, so you got to throw in some movement. And that was a great looking curve.
Checks the runner at first. Out of the dish, that one misses up high. Don't forget again, sidewalk sale coverage continues here on the HAN network. Tomorrow, Kate Chaplensky is live at the New Canaan sidewalk sale.
Frank, Kate would like to be live, but she will not be. She will be there live in person if you happen to be. We will be recording all of our interviews for your enjoyment at a later time.
That's why I'm just the sports director. So walking is Bakken. And there are 2 on now with nobody out, and we get a pinch hitter here as Trey Brennan steps in for Mike Morelli. Nevertheless, yes, Kate Chaplensky will be in person at the New Canaan sidewalk sale, fielding interviews with several of the shop owners. I believe the New Canaan Chamber of Commerce will join us at some point in time. So be on the lookout for that next week. And don't forget, you can see all of our championship game coverage in the on-demand section of the HAN Network website. First pitch missing, the 1-0 pitch now from Teasdale. Swung on and fouled back. 1-1 the count to Brennan.
And Frank, what is that HAN Network website?
I believe it's HAN.network.
You are correct, sir. You always want to include that. Include that as much as possible.
1-1 pitch on the way. Curveball swung on, teed off to deep center field. That's over the head of Masterson as he's got to chase it down. 1 run will score. Being held at third is Bakken, and into second with a pinch hit double is Brennan. So there's the cushion we were talking about.
And Frank, that ball absolutely smoked. Commendable job by Masterson, cutting it off and getting it back in, able to hold Bakken at third with the strong throw. Otherwise, that could have easily been 2 runs.
Still no outs. Runners at second and third. Zawacki up to the plate. 1 for 2 today with a double and a walk. Struck out back in the third. But you knew right away, AJ, as soon as that ball was hit, it was deep to center field as Masterson was immediately on his horse and chasing all the way. Infield cheats up. Stamford cannot afford another run. Curveball misses high. 1-0 the count to Zawacki. The 13-year-old Northeast Regionals will be played in Worcester, Massachusetts this year. That is where the winner of this game will advance to. The loser most likely having to find a local tournament to run out the summer with this team.
And Frank, should they advance from there, I am so happy I get to say this on air. The Babe Ruth 13 and under World Series will be played in Ottumwa, Iowa. If you are a fan of MASH, the birthplace of Radar O'Reilly.
This is my partner, everyone. 3-0 the count. Zawacki taking all the way in there for a strike.
What, you're not a MASH fan?
No, I am not old enough for MASH. I'm sorry.
You can still watch it. It's on MeTV every night at 7 o'clock.
I'm not old enough to be watching MeTV. Is this one roped to the left side? What a stab by Collazo at short. Climb the ladder, young man. And that is a huge stop, AJ.
Absolutely. If Collazo doesn't come up with that ball, it's out into left center field, and that's more runs for Waterford. Huge, huge in this inning for Stamford.
So playing up on the grass, Collazo with a super athletic play prevents 2 more runs from scoring after the hard hit ball off the bat of Zawacki.
As this pitch to Ben Jerome is upstairs for ball 2. I missed ball 1, apparently. Scoreboard says it's 2.
It's ball 2 here as the pitch down low in the dirt. Good stop by Nash.
Teasdale shaking his head out there on the mound. They're not happy with himself or not happy with the call.
Either way, a tough part of the lineup coming up. Sanford on deck. We saw the big triple out of him as this one up high. 4 pitches, and Jerome makes his way down to first as the bases are loaded for big number 35. And we will have a visit to the mound now with the lead sitting at 7-1.
And Frank will have while this is going on, we'll have a pinch runner for Waterford. Sam Lanuza will head to first for Jerome. And indications are that Jerome will be re-entering in the bottom of the 7th. And we will also have a pitching change for Stamford and a full-scale defensive shift up as well. Frank, we'll take a break, sort all of this out. Back here in the the top of the 7th, bases loaded for Waterford. They lead Stamford 7-1. You are watching the Babe Ruth U13 State Championship here on the HAN Network.
Mosquitoes, ticks, gone. Guarantees is America's most trusted mosquito and tick control company. Locally owned and operated, over 90,000 homes have been protected by Mosquito Squad using their dual protection method for season-long protection, which includes barrier spray service for eliminating mosquitoes and adult ticks, as well as supplemental programs to increase tick control. They use only USDA organic options, which are safe and non-toxic. Contact them today at www.squadctny.com or 203-893-4309. Mosquito Squad. No bugs, no bites, no kidding.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
We are back on the HAN Network. New pitcher in the game. It is David Collazo. We expected to see him at some point in this tournament. I guess better late than never, AJ.
That certainly seems to be the thinking as Collazo starts off. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong score sheet. What do we got here?
It's Matt Sanford at the dish, and I like this change. They had finally figured out the pace on these curveballs and all the junk pitches coming out of the hand of Teasdale. That is a risky, risky play, leaving one of those up there for Sanford to turn on right now.
It certainly is. And as Collazo moves in, Teasdale, I believe, has moved to second. Tucker Healy out to right.
Masterson has gone to short, and Dawkins has gone to center.
We have actually, Frank, I think we've actually seen a complete shift of the
pitcher to second, from second to right, from right to center, from center to short, from short to pitcher, if you're following us at home.
Everybody get all that?
So walking is Sanford on 4 pitches. Another run will score. Stamford is struggling down the stretch here to get out of this one. 8-1 now, they trail. That one in there for a strike as Collazo finds the plate for the first time to Burrows. It'll be interesting to see if they let Burrows finish the game in the bottom of the 7th. He's up over 110 pitches now. That one a breaking ball. Good job by Nash keeping it in front.
Similar to what we saw last night, Frank, the Waterford offense just strangle you. And in yesterday's game, it was a couple of runs every single inning. This time, the big inning in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and now 2 in the top of the 7th here. They just are relentless at the plate.
2-1 the count. Burrows at the dish. Has walked twice, singled in the first, flied out to center as this one fouled back over the cage. 2-2 now. 1 out in the inning. We're in the top of the 7th. Waterford on the brink of winning a 2nd consecutive state championship. Should they win tonight, Worcester, Mass, and the rest of the Northeast region awaits. I guess it would be New England, not Northeast. Missing down low. 3-2 the count. You have the New England region, and then there's the Mid-Atlantic. That would include New York. Full count, 1 away. Collazo dealing. Swung on, ripped out to center field. Dawkins unable to get the rest to play it off a hop. All the runners advance safely. Scoring is, Trey Brennan. So you can score it 9-1 now after the RBI single for Burrows. And you can definitely hear the lukes from the crowd this time as Sokolsky, the big right fielder, steps up to the dish.
And Frank, correct me if I am wrong, but I do believe the 10-run rule is in play at this point.
It wouldn't matter at this point because no matter what, the home team gets to bat in their half of the inning. And we sit here in the last inning. It'll be the bottom of the 7th. This one poked out to center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Once again, everyone advancing just 1 base. As Waterford now putting on a hitting clinic, finding all of the gaps around the field. Jerome scores this time. Stamford to 3rd, Burrows to 2nd. Sokolsky on with a single. Here is Ryan O'Connell, which we will see Waterford bat around in this final inning.
O'Connell actually fairly quiet tonight, all things considered. Flew out to right field in the 1st led off with the big triple in the 3rd and later scored, has struck out the last 2 innings. Not a great line, but he's come through when it's mattered the most.
0-2 pitch coming from Collazo. Swung on, worked towards third base side, going to retreat and field is Masterson from short as the infield still hovering up around the grass. So 2 away after the pop out from O'Connell, and Tanucci comes up for his 2nd at-bat of the inning. Line drive to the left side, through the gap again. 1 run will score. Quickly firing to 3rd, not in time. It is an RBI single for Tanucci, his 2nd single of the inning. As we continue to see quarters put into the merry-go-round, AJ.
Keep it going. You're being able to hit these pitches. As I heard a woman in the crowd yell, hit them where they ain't.
Make a play, Rocco. That one fouled off just in front of us and our cameraman.
Really, I have to say, a poor effort from you there on that one, Rocco. You had a good shot at it, unable to come up with the ground ball.
0-1 the count as Bakken fouled off the first pitch. Here's the second one from Collazo. Breaking ball in there, but it's up high, 1-1. That one cut on up around the numbers. Fouled back into the net. Here's the 1-2 pitch up over the head. Friendly roll back to Nash. So no pressure from the runners. 2-2 now the count to Bakken. (11-1) the score. Bakken chases one way up out of the zone. And finally the inning comes to an end. 5 runs cross the dish on 5 hits with 3 walks mixed in there. At the end of 6.5, Waterford just 3 outs away from being state champions for the second year in a row. 11-1 as Stamford comes up one more time here on the HAN Network.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
Keep your future star active and happy this summer at Future Star Sports Academy Camp Clinics. The Academy is offering sessions throughout Fairfield County. Sign up for a week and learn the fundamentals while under the supervision of qualified coaches. And what sets the Academy apart is its special Lessons of Life sessions, teaching values and focusing on building self-esteem, friendships, and honesty. Located at Sports Center Connecticut in Shelton and in Sports in Trumbull. Register online at futurestarssportsacademy.com.
Welcome back to the HAN Network. Frank Granito, AJ Simonowski standing up in the press box. Eric Gendron sitting to our right. Very luckily getting as he directs this broadcast. Been an absolute blast being here with Babe Ruth as well as Stamford Scoopetta Stadium. They've made this for us very, very easy as Burrows comes back in the 7th inning and a leadoff single right away. As it is Teasdale, his first at bat, picking up a single in between shortstop and third base.
Good to see the young man put the bat on the ball and recover from the rougher outing he had while he was on the mound. And he will be pinch run for immediately. By who? We'll tell you in just a second.
So runner on first. Burrows deals to the dish, taking for a strike. Count 0-1. As entering back into the game is Jester. He'll pinch run. If you can keep track of all this at home right now.
You're better off than we are.
This one dropped. Jester not going. As at the dish, it's McKeever, so 1-1 the count. Runner on first. 10-run the difference right now. This one a hard ground to the second baseman. Fielded there, unable to control it originally. Tanucci gets one at second. Sliding in was Jester. The double play broken up. Tanucci had a little trouble fielding initially. Wisely gets at least one of them as he takes out the lead runner. So McKeever on with the fielder's choice. Burrows looking for the complete game win. Surrendered only 1 run. That was back in the 5th. He's given up only 4 hits today. Has struck out 8. Kiever leads off first. Pickoff attempt there. As Tucker Healy is back up to bat now. Playing right field at this point in time. Burrows checks the runner, comes to the dish. Fastball on the outside corner. Strike 1.
And Frank, just as we have seen all evening from Burrows, working quickly, throwing strikes. What more can you ask of him?
That one misses on the outside corner. Want to take a quick sec. Thank our cameraman, Martin Hurd, and Eric Gendron directing. AJ Simonowski and I, the pleasure of calling this championship game. This one cut on, fouled off to the right side and up over the bleacher, so that one out of play. Two and two the count to Healy. 2 outs standing between Waterford and the regional tournament. Ball missing up high, 3-2 now. And AJ, let's take a second. This Stamford team had an unbelievable year, assuming the worst, and we won't be seeing a 2-out rally. They had a great tournament. This Waterford team is a special group of young men. This one lined up the middle. Fielding there is Bakken. Tag second, fires to first. That's going to do it. They'll turn the double play and end the game. Burrows goes all the way, gets the complete game win. Your 2016 state champions, the Waterford Babe Ruth All-Stars.
And Frank, just as we have seen through the semifinals yesterday and through all day today, whatever the play may be, Waterford just executes it as best as he possibly can. Another picturesque double play to end the game here, send the Waterford All-Stars up to Worcester for the regional tournament, and they just dominated the final 2 days here at Cubetta Stadium, putting up a 9 spot against Darien, a team that was not a slouch by any means in their own right. 9 runs against them, 11 here today against Stamford, one of the better teams we had seen in the tournament overall, and they just dominated them from top to bottom.
They clearly were the best team in the state, and if they didn't prove it in group play, they put it on display these past 2 days. We will take a quick break, step aside, and when we come back, we'll put a bow on this whole thing and congratulate the Waterford team again. Final score from Cubetta Stadium, Waterford 11, Stamford 1. Waterford, your 2016 Connecticut Babe Ruth State champions.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 1 million people have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment programming since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
And we welcome you back to the HAN Network. Frank Granito, AJ Simonowski at Cubetta Stadium in Stamford, where we just watched the Waterford Babe Ruth All-Star team take down the Stamford Thunder in the 13U division for the Babe Ruth State Championship. AJ, let's talk about, Jared Burrows and the pitching performance he had. He goes all 7 innings, picks up the win. Only gave up 5 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts.
Dominance. That kind of a game, at whatever level of baseball you're playing at, you've got a great shot to win if you can pitch that well. Sitting down 8 guys by strikeout in this game alone, I would have to go back to my score sheets and yours. I don't think the other pitchers in the other 2 games we saw combined put up
overshadowed, because of the outburst from the bats on the other side of the ball. Sanford had a huge game at the dish. Jerome was on base a bunch. He scored 2 times. Burrows picked up a bunch of hits as well. He walked twice. Sokolsky, again with the bat. He had 3 hits tonight. It was top to bottom in the lineup. O'Connell with a hit. Tanucci had 2 hits in 1 inning. Morelli, Brennan. Everyone had the bats going. It's a very special team. This is the 2nd state championship they've won in a row now, and they are very deserving to go and represent Connecticut at the regional tournament in a couple weeks.
They certainly are. And when you can look through your scorecard and see that every position in your lineup scored at least 1 run, that's phenomenal. That's exactly what you want to see happen. And Waterford went out here tonight and did it.
It was a great tournament. It was a great 2 days to be a part of. Again, thanks to Marty Hersom, Rocco Veluzzi on cameras, Eric Gendron killing it on the director's set. Frank and AJ, we had an absolute blast here. Any final thoughts?
It's fun working with you, buddy.
I'm excited to do it a bunch more. Final score again, Waterford 11, Stamford 1. That will do it for the state championship tournament. We wish luck to Waterford when they make their way to regionals. You've been listening to the HAN Network. Don't forget, you can find all 3 of our games on demand at HAN.network.